I'm David Outerside, the head gardener here at Beamish Museum, and we're just going to have a quick chat about our Weardale Perfection daffodils that were kindly donated to us via the Botanic Gardens at Durham University as part of the research programme we had done for Spainsfield Farm. Here you can see behind me. Now the story of Weardale Perfection starts with William Backhouse, who was a local banker from Darlington and the leading hybridiser of daffodils until his untimely death in 1869. His son Charles Backhouse was the first to see Weardale Perfection bloom. Although William did hybridise it, he never actually got to see it bloom. His son did in 1872, and he was the first person to see it and named it Weardale from that point. Now, after that, for about 20 years, nothing really happened with Weardale at all. In 1894, it won the first class certificate via the RHS Narcissi Committee. From that, the popularity soared and the value went up to £25 per bulb, which in today's market is equivalent to £1,400 for a single bulb. Although it was expensive for the time, it was very popular with estates and gardeners around the country, and the flower itself, as you see, is a beautiful specimen, so you can see why it was so popular. Once this won its award from the RHS, it was then renamed to Weardale Perfection. By 1910, nothing lasts forever, and unfortunately the value of this dropped down to a few shillings, to the equivalent of 25 pence in today's market. From the 1940s, it had disappeared from catalogues, so the story for the Weardale Perfection, as it was known then, gets picked up by the residents of Weardale. And the Weardale Society thought it would be a lovely idea, after hearing the story about the Weardale Perfection bulb, to see if they could resurrect it and preserve it for future generations as part of a plan they were looking to celebrate for the new millennium which was coming. So through research and talking to experts, they managed to find a surviving pot of daffodils, and they hoped one would be in there. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Weardale Perfection bulb, but as luck would have it, they did manage to secure one bulb, and in 2007, from that bulb that was lifted in the summer of 2007, they were managed to get a daughter bulb off that. And using rapid propagation methods, they were able to source 500 bulbs in a relatively short space of time. The bulbs were then distributed out. 450 went to the Church of St Mary's and St Stephen's in Walsingham, and they are evident in their churchyard. So if you're passing, feel free to pop in there and you'll see a lovely display around about this time now of the daffodil. Not all around here, but they will all be coming out in the next few weeks. So as our research for Spainsfield was undergoing, a colleague of mine found the story of Weardale Perfection, and they were wondering if we could manage to source some bulbs. So we reached out to the gardening community and managed to get some bulbs from Michael Hughes, the head gardener over at the University Botanic Gardens, who was kind enough to split the pot and allow us to have half. We've been in contact with the church in Walsingham, and we're going to try to get some from them once they're finished flowering, and take some off those as well. So if you're passing Spainsfield Farm at the weekend, feel free to pop in and talk to the staff. They'll have some information about the daffodil, and you'll be able to see this rare bulb in all its glory this spring here at Spainsfield Farm.